According to our history, we have a natural airline of the oldest son being the rightful heir. Then we have examples of the heirship being changed by divine election, Yahweh. And yes, that's the way it is according to the natural order. But he knows what we don't know, understands what we do not understand. His ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are high above our thoughts. So he changed it. He made it, so if he wants to change it, it's his authority, and that's all to that. Now, Yahweh knew Ishmael was firstborn, but he chose Isaac. He knew Esau was firstborn, but he chose Jacob. He knew Reuben was firstborn, but he took his line on through Judah. He knew Adoniah was firstborn, but he chose Solomon. He thought that he would change it around, and that's exactly what he did. The scholars of Yahweh's University Theatrical Class present The Law of Inheritance, Genesis 16, 1 through 11. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said unto Abraham, Behold now, the Lord Yahweh hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my handmaid Hagar. It may be that I may obtain children by her.
Are you sure about this, Sarah? Besides, where did you get an idea like that from anyway? Did you think about it? Or did you make your decision without thought?
Now, Abraham, we both know that I am unable to conceive, and this is why I have chosen Hagar to carry our seed. Yes, I have thought about it, and this is what I have decided to do.
Well, Sarah, if this is what you want to do, and if it makes you happy, then so be it.
And Abraham hearkened unto the voice of Sarah. And Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian, after Abraham dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. To Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes.
Hagar,
Yes, my mistress.
aren't you tired of doing absolutely nothing, with the exception of trying to agitate my intelligence as well as my patience?
No, I'm not tired. Neither am I trying to agitate your patience. I'm effectively stimulating your sight.
Well, since you're in the practice of stimulating sight, why don't you see your way to the food chambers and bring me a platter of fruit?
Yes, my mistress.
And what kind of fruits are these?
Oh, well, the fruits of thy kind, dates, figs, prunes, and raisins. And the fruits of my kind, the fruit that ripeth.
The fruit that ripeth? And just what do you mean by that? The fruit that ripeth.
Oh, come on, Sarah. You know what I mean. And it'll be my extreme pleasure to spell it out for you. Yes, the fact still remains that you are Abraham's first Hebrew Israelite wife. But the reality is that you are ridiculously unproductive.
What? Ridiculously
It's quite
unproductive.
apparent that I am young, beauteous, choice, fertile, and very productive. And of course, you, on the other hand, are unyielding, fruitless, childless, impoverished, impotent, devoid, and not only lacking, but extremely jealous.
Jealous? Jealous? You see, obviously the fact that you're now pregnant has gone to your head.
Oh.
Who do you think you're calling
Oh,
jealous?
so that's why you hate me, Sarah. Is that why you resent me? Let's not forget, it was your decision that I carry Abraham's seed. It's not my fault that I have found favor in Abraham's sight, and he has lost interest in you.
Lose interest in me? Sarah, in me? Honey. Abraham loves me. And as for you, I gave my husband to you, and I can take him away.
Personally, I don't think you understand. You see, Sarah, it was you and whom brought all of this about. So now you are just going to have to deal with it.
Yes, I will deal with it. Yes.
I'm quite elated about the fact that I'm carrying Abraham's first child. And now, as you can see, you can't see, right? That I'm obtaining children for you. It's all for you. By Abraham, I demand that you respect my position.
No, you don't demand anything from me. You ungrateful, unappreciative, anti-sanctimonious, narrow-minded, cantankerous, belligerent, wild woman. Let me put your minds into reality now. That it was I, Sarah, who made the arbitration and gave the authorization for my husband to go into you because I am barren. But don't you ever forget that I am Abraham's first wife. And I call the shots as to what you do and don't do with my husband. You see, obviously, it has left your comprehension that your conception is a result of my will. As my handmaid, I will not allow your unruly conduct and arrogance. And as long as you dwell in my house and eat the bread off of my table, you see, I demand your utmost respect. Now, you can dismiss yourself from my presence. Pleasure.
And it hurt Sarah immensely, so that she wept. And Abraham heard her weeping and said,
Sarah, why are you crying? I don't need this, you do.
And Sarah said unto Abraham, my wrong be upon thee. I have given my handmaid Hagar unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord Yahweh judge between me and thee. But Abraham said unto Sarah,
Sarah, my wife, why do you worry? Thy maid is in thy hands. Do unto her as it pleases thee.
yes, my Lord. And these words pleased Sarah greatly, so that she put them into immediate execution. Hagar! Hagar! Bring me a glass of red wine. Yes, my mistress. I'm quite thirsty. Make that white wine. Now.
Yes, my mistress. White wine.
I prefer a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. You do know how I like my orange juice, don't you?
Yes, I know. about time. Look, no, it's not cold enough.
It's not cold enough.
No. I think I'm hungry now. Why don't you bring me a platter of unleavened bread? Yeah, that's what I want. Now, I'm very hungry.
I'm coming.
Look at you! You clumsy bondwoman! Pick it up! You go over there, you get a broom and you sweep it up. Clumsy. As a matter of fact, Hagar, you clean my royal chambers.
Clean your royal chambers. I just cleaned your royal chambers.
I don't care. You do it again.
I can't take this anymore.
Wait, I didn't dismiss you.
So when Sarah dealt hardly with Hagar, she fled from her presence. And the angel of the Lord Yahweh found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said unto her,
Hagar, Sarah's handmaid, whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go?
and she said,
I fled from the face of my mistress, Sarah.
and the angel of the Lord Yahweh said unto her,
Return unto thy mistress Sarah, and submit thyself under her hand.
Me submit to Sarah after all these horrible things she's done to me? Submit? Why would I submit to her? Submit to
and the
Behold.
angel of the Lord Yahweh said unto her,
Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and his name shall be called Ishmael, because the Lord Yahweh hath heard thy affliction. For he shall be a wild man, and his hand shall be against every man's hand, and every man's hand against his, and he shall dwell in the presence of his brethren.
and Hagar thanked the angel, and she did as the angel commanded her. And as she returned in submission to her mistress Sarah, she saw Abraham by way of the palace. So she ran to meet and inform him of her unbelievable experience.
Abraham! I miss you.
I missed you too. As a matter of fact, where have you been? I sent 3 messages out to look for you, and they all returned empty-handed.
I fled from the face of my mistress, Sarah. Oh, but don't worry about that. Let me tell you what happened while I was in the wilderness. While I was in the wilderness, I met a man,
You met a man?
an angel.
An angel?
Yes. And he said, Abraham, we're going to have a son.
A son?
A son.
I'm gonna have a son. We're gonna have a son here, guys.
Oh, but he told me his
His name?
His name is going to...
Don't tell me, I'll guess.
Okay.
A perfect name for my son is Methuselah. That's his name, I already know that.
No, it's not Methuselah.
It's not Methuselah?
Nope. Guess again.
How about Noah? Noah.
No.
If it's not Noah, it's only one name left. Abraham Adam.
Abraham, Adam.
Abraham
No,
Adam.
his name is going to be Ishmael.
Ishmael.
Yes.
My son's name is going to be Ishmael.
Oh, but that's not all he told me.
Well, what else did he say, Hagar?
He said that he was going to make of my seed a great nation,
Yeah, I like that part.
so they would not be numbered for the multitude, and that Ishmael was going to be a wild man
A wild man.
and dwell in the midst of his brethren.
Oh.
Oh, but now Abraham, according to your law of inheritance, doesn't the oldest son receive his father's inheritance?
Well, of course, the oldest son.
So, you do agree that Ishmael will have your inheritance,
Why not, Hagar?
all of it?
All of it.
Well, don't you think we should let Sarah accompany us in this palaver?
Well, of course. Sarah. Got some news for Sarah now. Sarah, Hagar would like for us to accompany her in a palaver. Don't like this, Sarah.
Abraham and I have been discussing the law of inheritance as it applies to the oldest son being the rightful heir. And now, since Ishmael is about to be born,
Ishmael. Who's Ishmael?
yes, I've decided to let you know ahead of time that Ishmael will receive all that his father possessed.
But Sarah, is this what you wanted? A son from the Lord Yahweh would most definitely be a blessing.
Yes.
So,
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you have already discussed our Hebrew law, the law of inheritance, with this Egyptian, who is a mere servant of ours, before consulting me, your first Hebrew Israelite wife? I thought that since I am your first wife, you would let me know ahead of time before making a decision such as this. Why, Abraham, I'm surprised at you. I don't believe you. You tell me, why didn't you tell me first? How could you let this happen?
what do you mean, how can I let this happen, Sarah? Did I not ask you from the beginning if this is what you wanted to do and you answered yes and that it would make you happy? And now that my first son Ishmael is about to be born, according to our Hebrew Israelite law, he will inherit all of my possessions, and that's that.
Oh, don't worry about her, Abraham. I am having your first son. She's just jealous.
Hagar was trying to get the inheritance through Abraham to make her son equal to the true heir. She wasn't content to live with Abraham in his land. She wanted herself and her son Ishmael to inherit all of it. And the Lord Yahweh appeared unto Abraham in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day, and lifted up his eyes, and looked, and lo, 3 men stood before him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet and bowed himself toward the ground and said,
O my Lord, if I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away from thy servant.
After Abraham had done obeisance to the angels of the Lord Yahweh, he called for them to come in. And they said unto him,
Where is Sarah, thy wife?
and he said unto them,
Sarah, my wife, is in the tent.
and the Lord Yahweh said,
I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son.
And Sarah heard it through the tent door which was behind them. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and did just cease to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying,
After I am old, shall I, Sarah, have pleasure with my Lord being so old?
And the Lord Yahweh said unto Abraham,
Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord Yahweh? At the time appointed, I will certainly return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. But Yahweh said,
Nay, but thou didst laugh.
and the men arose from thence and went their way. In the breath of time, the Lord Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said. And the Lord Yahweh did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time in which Yahweh had spoken unto him. And the son which he had born unto Abraham was called Isaac. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the selfsame day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, reproached him mocking.
Who invited you? You gonna take it a piece for him for being weak? That is stupid, ridiculous, and most.
definitely insane. If anything, Ishmael, above all people, should begin a party for being the sole proprietor and inheritor of all that my father Abraham possessed. So this party is a vain attempt, because I'm the rightful owner.
Who invited you?
Invited myself.
Well done.
Sarah, we will see you.
Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her imbecilic son. For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
Cast me out? Cast me out? Abraham. Surely, you won't listen to Sarah. Because see, casting me out is like casting out heaven. I gave you more pleasure in less than a year than she's giving you in over 20 years.
Wait a minute, you indentured peasant. Who do you think you're talking to? You're nothing but an odorless. You had best consider your blessing. I even thought about releasing you from your chains and shackles to be my servant.
Your servant? I'm no longer obligated to you or anyone else. You may be Abraham's first wife, but Ishmael, my son, is the rightful heir, which makes us equal. No one's servant.
You bodacious, arrogant, half-bred scrub woman. Look, I'm coming to you about this, Abraham. But this menial-minded woman and her morbid son must go, and I do mean now.
Sarah. We've been through this all before. Time and time again. And this is what you wanted, of course. And now you see the results. So I can't do nothing about that, Sarah.
And that means, Sarah, that you are just going to have to deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. Oh, yes, Hagar. I will deal with it.
Oh, yeah, you gonna
I'll deal with it according to the law of my God, Yahweh, that my son Isaac gets his father's inheritance. Sarah? See, Sarah knew her right under Yahweh's law. She saw the son of the bondwoman and said, "No, you come here, Ishmael." You see, if I let you stay here too long, you might try to pull a Cain over Abel and be jealous of Isaac's inheritance and rise up in the field and try to take it.
Take it. That's right. If anything, it should be vice versa. More at Isaac trying to take Ishmael's inheritance. Not Ishmael trying to take Isaac. See, you're diametrically opposed to the truth, Sarah, that Ishmael is firstborn.
That's what Cain was mad about. Abel's offer was perfect in Yahweh's sight. He was a direct lineage and son of Yahweh. Am I right, Abraham? Cain was not. So, Cain's first move was to try to cut off his brother's inheritance by slaying him in the field. Same as today, your son is trying to cut off my son's inheritance, and I will not stand for it.
By mere virtue of the fact that Ishmael is the first son, according to your law of inheritance, it's already his. So all of this extra verbosity is unnecessary. Right, Abraham?
Look, I want all of this fussing to stop now. Sarah, you know the law. And as far as I am concerned, this whole argument is petty and trivial. And I will not have it from either of you. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Nah. Deal with this, Sarah.
So, Abraham, Ishmael is growing up, and he's going to try to kill off our son. Let's cast that saporific miscreant out now. I want her out my house. Hagar has to go.
Sarah, you know you're not being fair about this, right?
No, Abraham, no. You see, I know the law, and I also know that my son Isaac is the rightful heir, and that is the way it's going to be.
And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. For he was willing to forget the law of inheritance by making them equal. But while Abraham was sitting there hesitating about carrying out the law in righteousness, being grieved over the law, Yahweh stepped in and had a little talk with Abraham and said unto him,
Let it not be grievous in thy sight, because of the lad and because of the bondwoman. In all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for Isaac should thy seed be called, and also the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and called Hagar and said,
Hagar, I have a message for you, Hagar. The Lord Yahweh said that I have to send you and my son Ishmael away.
Oh, Abraham, this won't be necessary. That little dispute between me and Sarah, it's over. I love you so much. I can never let anything come between me, you, and our son. I love you.
I indeed love you too, Hagar, but I can see you don't understand. I have to send you and my son away.
Abraham, but it's over. You can't do this. I love you.
I have to, Hagar.
But Abraham, where are we going to live? How are we going to survive?
Yahweh will provide for you, Hagar.
Abraham, can he provide a father for your son? What about the inheritance, Abraham? You can't do this. What about the inheritance? All them, Abraham.
Isaac is the rightful heir. You have to understand that you are a totally different nation, Hagar.
But what about Ishmael? You don't get enough for your son?
to send you away, my son.
Send me away.
Oh, Abraham.
Can't send us away, Father.
I went through all this.
I want to stay.
Sarah. And now you tell me. I can't believe this. Your son.
Father, I want to stay, Father. I love you.
Come on, Ishmael.
Father, I love you.
Come on, Ishmael.
I want to stay.
Come on.
Father, I love you, Father. I want to stay, Father.
He don't love you. Come on.
He do love me. He's not ready to let me stay. Come on. And he sent them away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. That's right. Cast her out. Oh, miscreant. I told you to put her out from the beginning. You see, it was Yahweh's decision. Told her, Yahweh, see ya. Shalom. Sarah was gratified that Hagar was gone. After all, she knew that Isaac was the sole proprietor of all that his father Abraham possessed. Abraham. It was Yahweh's decision. You did the right thing, honey.